Mike the Ref Maloney, Big Bad Boris on the call here tonight.
Let's go! Let's go!
Third! Super Kick Party! Yeah, pay the money for that. Lord. And of course, you gotta get the Coffin spin. Well, I would say yo, 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 and away we go, but I think today it's more appropriate. Ho, 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 and away we go. Welcome, everybody, to the AEW Dynamite Sidecast. I already got a frog in my throat here. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Jay Quick, good to see you here. King Exum, good to see you here as well. Good to see everybody here. It is Christmas night, December 25th, 2024. Our last Dynamite before the, not only the World's End pay-per-view, but also the beginning of the Max regime here in AEW, which I could say Wrestling Revolution is really taking over here in North America. The last Dynamite that's exclusively on TV in the States. We've had Fight TV's had it internationally for a very long time already. So, now it gets to be expanded in the States onto online. Not changing a whole lot for Dynamite here in Canada, but Collision, we're actually getting a full-fledged channel for Collision. This is good. Hey! KT Watson, Hoba, good to see you. Thank you for the emoji there. Plus the last SmackDown this week, that'll be 2 hours. Where do I got it here? That would be my thoughts on that. A lot of wrestling history this week, plus Friday. By the way, for the record, speaking of Friday, this Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Mountain, there's a 99% guarantee that I will be here for the last ever Rampage. We'll be doing a special sidecast of that one night only. We were here for the start. Let's stay for the finish. I've heard it's a little bit crazy how the whole night ends. So make sure you stop by. We're going to have a lot of fun with that. But speaking of fun, hey, Zodiac, Merry Christmas to you as well. I don't know why I'm wearing these headset. TV's right there. I'm not watching online here yet. And the last Raw on USA, well, for now. We'll see what happens with the Netflix numbers that come in. I can't tell you, I can tell you the production value on Netflix was okay. I don't know what the signal was like. Because in Canada, we still are, they have a different contract, so the Netflix feed actually feed into our TSN, which is the ESPN equivalent here in Canada, which is also the same group of channels that's hosting Dynamite up here, and Collision now, which, tonight, there's a whole lot to talk about. The primary story of tonight's Dynamite will be the C2 finals, and essentially we got 4 matches tonight where it's winning your... Nice. Thank you for the 69 bits, King. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. I forgot I had that special one done up there. Was fine here. What I think weird people out, or what weirded me out, is we had commercials on a service that... Oh, no, there is going to be commercials. The only difference is now, when it comes to Raw, you're going to get a full match, then a commercial. You're not going to get 3 different segments for the same match. You'll get a match, then you'll get a little longer commercial break. So they are going to have full commercials there. But yeah, go back to Jay Quick here, talking about tonight. Basically, 4 of the 5 matches tonight are winning you're in for playoff spots for the C2. We got Darby and Ricochet. Winner's going to have enough points to get in. Benjamin Okada. I believe if Benjamin wins, he gets the back door his way in. And yes, we always talk about the back door whenever possible here. Will Ospreay need some help? He needs either a tie between Darby and Ricochet or Benjamin and Okada. Or hell, even well, I guess that's the other. Oh no, Benjamin Okada's the other side. Between Allen and Ricochet and Commander, he needs a Commander win, or a tie between. And I say tie, I mean time limit draw. They're putting Ospreay out first. I thought you'd do a little bit of drama and leave this for Ospreay being the win and you're in deal here. Because Brody, unfortunately, I would love to see him get a lot more. By the way, shout out to Mr. Brody King. His birthday's tomorrow. Unfortunately, we lost him way too soon here. But yeah, this is the third of 4 tapings they had. Oh, here we go. I like this. I like this a lot. A little graphic on the side. This is what you can expect tonight. None of these throw up again all over the once in a while.
You left your house and walked into mine.
McG. I'm sorry, my audio is not working for my alerts, so I don't get them automatically here. Jeez. But Merry Christmas, you handsome SOB. Sorry I didn't message you back on Discord. I've been a tiny bit busy today trying to get my computer going. When did they record this? This was on Sunday. They had a 3-day taping at Hammerstein all weekend. Friday was Final Battle. Saturday was Ring of Honor and Collision. And Sunday was Dynamite and Rampage. So the Rampage we watch on Friday is going to include that as well. So if Brody wins, he's got a backwards chance depending on ties and whatever. Oh God, winner of Okada and Garcia go in for sure. Unless there's a tie and then Briscoe can find a way in here. Jesus criminy. There is enough permutations and combinations in this. I really like it when they set it up so the last night can matter when it comes to I just love chaos as well. I'm with you. Gonna make a quick change here. By the way, do you hear somebody's special dulcet tones on the There we go. We'll just do that now. Yeah, we got Taz back on commentary. He made his auspicious debut on Sunday. So this was a Sunday afternoon banger here, apparently. Well, let's face it, it's Will Ospreay. Can we just face facts here? And I want, if anybody else wants to throw any other names out, please feel free. No judgment. Except for the guys in the chat who will rebuttal about it, but everybody's entitled to their opinion. Will Ospreay's got to be Wrestler of the Year this year. Like, if you look at some of the best matches coming out, period. Danielson Ospreay, Swerve Ospreay, MJF Ospreay, 1 or 2, take your pick. I know Wrestle Talk was talking about it. I got a chance to watch it finally. Michael Oku versus Will Ospreay at Rev Pro. I think marketing-wise, the most impactful wrestler. Let me know what you guys think for your most impactful wrestler, as well as the best wrestler of the year. Like, I think Ospreay is the best wrestler. In terms of impact, you might have to go with Punk. Because he might have only wrestled 4 matches, and trust me, it's been repeated on this channel many times that that Punk has done a lot of horrible stuff, but unfortunately he is that needle mover, and that match with Drew McIntyre, that match there will live, well, it was basically a PG version of what they did between Swerve and Hangman. Ospreay is up there, yeah. Like, if you feel like Drew is the needle mover, hey, you know what? I'll give you a gold coin on that one too. Like, for everything that Drew has done, Drew has been the unsung MVP of WWE this year. I got to give him that. And we'll talk a lot more about this on Saturday when we got 5 hours of wrestling to go through here during the pay-per-view. His heel work elevated Punk? Absolutely. Well, his heel work's doing everything. His troll work online is chef's kiss. Jay, quick throw back to your thoughts there as well. Jordan Grace was knockout of the year. I will agree. Best female wrestler of the year? I would say Jordan Grace. Most valuable female wrestler of the year? I would still give to Toni Storm, even though she hasn't wrestled since August. She brought that women's division to a level that it has not been before. And total package, Chelsea Green. This will be a Chelsea Green Stan channel for sure. Best Rhea, I would say most impactful for Rhea. I agree with you. I'm not going to argue with you on that. The only complaint I have is the fact that she was injured a few times and she was still there, but in terms of actually working, male tag team of the year, ABC, that Liv feud kind of, well, no, it's not that it necessarily brought her down. I think it's more the injuries than the feud, and it definitely brought Liv up. I will say that. I will agree on that as we hit up. It's supposed to be picture in picture, but TSN said, nope, we ain't having that today. I would say it definitely brought Liv up. I'm with you, Zodiac. Most impactful women's wrestler, I think it's Rhea without a blink of an eye here when it comes to WWE. Her effect on the women's division on Raw, Toni Storm's on AEW. Liv just needs to be able to refocus in a different way here. So, and in the States, we just got a Max AEW ad. I will give you that one, Jay Quick. That is I am so excited for that. For the fact that so many more people are getting the opportunity to watch. And hell, everybody file it in here tonight. Once again, thank you. For those that don't know, this is a bit of a temporary setup right now as I am running off my laptop rather than my full desktop. By the way, for anybody that wants an update, I don't know if you really do, but we'll do. I managed to reset my laptop today. Just got it rebooted, or just got it reformatted. Now I got to try and see if I can get the files to work. If I can get a partial setup done, I'm going to whip it together tomorrow afternoon after stream. If I can't, well, it looks like I'm moving into... I might even move into Linux or something at this point. I'm just getting so frustrated with the whole damn thing. Tony is saying else. I think she was more MVP 2023 than she was 2024. But I'm excited for her in 2020. Absolutely. Like, So we're talking about things coming up next week. Things coming up in 2025. Statlander will better than Tony 24. In terms of matches, in terms of showing up, absolutely. Like I said, when it comes to Impact, I think that, and I'm not talking Impact Wrestling, I'm talking about Impact to a promotion. I don't think the matches with Statlander and Willow and that rivalry that would have brought the women's division as much notice if they didn't have the Tony setting up that level. Granted, Tony Khan doesn't know how to book of a paper bag when it comes to the women. Let's just call.
You idiot!
That's every time we talk about Tony Khan booking the women's division. But not sure if Ospreay's had a bad match this year. Well, let's think about this. Takeshita, amazing. Fletcher, well, he made Fletcher. Tag matches maybe, but most of that stuff wouldn't have been his fault. Danielson, well, I was just talking about other matches. We talked about that earlier, but yeah, no, Danielson, like nobody forgets Danielson there. That spot at the end where, oh God. And Ospreay basically had to redefine his character as he moved into AEW here after that fight with Fletcher. If you guys haven't noticed, while he is in the aerial assassin, he's known as the aerial assassin still. You notice that he's gotten a little bit darker since he lost to Fletcher the way that he did. So it is actually setting up pretty decent. Want to see where Ospreay goes in 2025 with an AEW? See, this is where my computer pisses me off right now. If my computer was built and proper again, I'd probably be doing a lot of these prediction videos and whatnot as we're going along. We can talk a lot about that coming up. Like I said, on Saturday, we'll have a lot of thoughts about what's going to be going on next year. And folks, don't forget, I see a lot of new people in the chat here tonight, so that's why I'm trying to run a few, not running ads, but letting people know what's going on. We will be here Friday night for Rampage, the final Rampage. Then Saturday we'll be here for World's End, so make sure. Most Improved Wrestler 2024, Harley. That one is about as much of a slam dunk as you can get right now. Harley Cameron has turned herself into a top-tier megastar when it comes to the women's division. The only thing she's got to worry about now is just winning. Ospreay, those chops aren't working. Yeah. Harley grab, that whole thing coming up. Did you see the 12 Days of Harley for her advertisement? Just her promo work is just, it's gone up by leaps and bounds now that she doesn't have anybody with her holding her up. Like having to play second fiddle to Saraya for a while. Well, don't get me wrong, Saraya is a hell of a personality. I think Harley needed to be by herself in order to grow the way that she has. Father of the Year, pretty obvious. Well, do you consider Jericho a father figure, though? Because that very well could be the case as well. You know, it's not automatically Mr. Christian here. The emphatic no, I love that. But in terms of things I want to see next year, I want to see Big Brody King here get some kind of championship. Do I want to see Malachi and Brody get a tag title run? Wouldn't hurt my feelings. Do you want to see the trios titles back and defended once in a while? Yeah, I would like that too. I'd like for them to get it back before WWE decides to incorporate some trios titles of their own. Because you know that's coming. They want a tribal chief belt, or yeah, that. Yeah.
You idiot!
Can I just leave it at that for that one? WWE can't book a good tag division. How can they do trios? Simple. Give a team a title and tell them they are officially the trios, and then we'll have 15 fights between the Final Testament, the Wyatt Six, and Team America, whatever he wants to call them now with Chad Gable there. Ospreay needs these 3 points and needs help. Waiting for WWE to create a Netflix title. Watch the Intercontinental title turn into the Netflix title. I love that Ospreay tries to go for the cutter and all of a sudden just whack. No way. Is he seriously? No way. You know it's got to take a lot for you to do the Styles Clash on a man that big. Look at this crowd. Seriously. Give me these 3,000 people crowds all day. Well, so much for your hidden blade there, bud. Dante's Inferno only 2. Hot diggity dog. Oh, Jesus. Why are we doing the jump? Who let Bucktooth Dunn back in here with all these zoom in cuts here? Did you see they put Becky Lynch in the WWE Netflix commercial? Way to ruin a great return. Yeah. I'd almost laugh if she didn't come back. Ospreay could have a good match with anybody? Pretty much. Oh no, he could have a good match with you. It'd be about 5 seconds, but it would be a good match. Is he going for Stormbreaker? My God. He had to hit 3 finishers. And yeah, Ospreay is damn strong. And the set of desperation there, because they almost hit 20 minutes. Wait until we get Ospreay Omega again. All right, so Ospreay's done with 9. He made that look effortless. Yeah, well, it's Will Ospreay. What the hell am I supposed to say?
Benjamin, huge Continental Classic implications tonight as you face Kazuchika Okada, but MVP Bobby Lashley, I've been asking from you both. You've been dancing in the building tonight.
This could be a nice little warm-up before my match.
Don't. Hold on just a second. Step off the gas a little bit. Renee, out of respect for you, you'll honor this request.
Out of respect for Renee. Daniels don't want to. I think that has a lot to do with what happened last week, like after the attack on Garcia after the match. And this is what I'd like to see out of this Continental division. If you could have a set group of wrestlers who is a part of that, and there is no shenanigans after, there is no stupid stuff after. Darby and Ricochet, yeah. So now it's up to the winner of this, I believe, is going to have pretty much a pretty damn good shot at making it. I really hope this crowd throws out the TP again. I don't know for anybody that watched on Saturday to start the match, fans literally threw TP at Ricochet to start it off. There it is. Two-ply. Throw it back. Here it comes. Couldn't even make it to ringside. Jesus. The guy at the top balcony couldn't throw it to the ring. All right, now we're going to stall for time here. But now we're within a hair of, like, we're getting real close to the finish line here. I'm ready for heel Ricochet. Absolutely. I want the opportunity to see Ospreay and Ricochet run it back without the 20-minute time limit and the stipulations of a tournament. Yeah. Why is Ricochet saying that? So Ricochet's complaining that there was a hair pull. That's like saying somebody picked my abs. It's like, no, there's nothing there. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah. You got no hair. Why are you bald? Next week's going to be so much fun. The thing that sucks is they can't advertise too many matches going into it. The only match that we've had officially announced for next Wednesday is Jamie Hayter versus the returning Julia Hart, which to me is a big win right there. So nothing like a fired up Taz. And FTR, oh, that's right. FTR and a teammate versus the Death Riders. So that's the ugliest. I don't think there's any way that it's not Adam Copeland. The return of Adam Copeland next week, the beginning of Netflix next week, AEW moving over to the USA Network here in Canada. TNA moving to Sportsnet in WWE's old spot, which I think is actually a perfect, like, we didn't get a chance to talk about this before. I think it's pretty much a perfect fit here in Canada for TNA to move into that Thursday night spot on Sportsnet 360. Having WWE on Sportsnet on Mondays, Tuesdays, gotta hit the commercial break. You gotta get the mute button here. They ain't paying my bills. Having WWE on Monday, Friday, Tuesday, and then the odd Sunday, like, they've had to bump WWE over to the digital channels way too much. Thursday night for Sportsnet is relatively a quiet night. For those that don't know, the Sportsnet feed is basically the equivalent to Fox Sports up here in Canada. The majority, they got hockey that they can run on Thursday, which usually doesn't play a whole lot of games on Thursdays. The Blue Jays usually play a Thursday afternoon game because teams are leaving out of town, and the sit next series starts on a Friday. Basketball, they got both channels running, so that won't be a big deal. I think this is going to be a very good fit for Sportsnet, and I think it's going to be a very good fit for TNA, and I do hope people get a chance to watch. I know that our local establishment is starting on Making the Impact, which originated over on Backbreaker Video and now is moving over to OLE. By the way, I haven't had a chance to say it yet. If any of you have showed up at our local establishment last Friday for our wrestling trivia quiz, I had an absolute blast hosting that, and I stumped a lot of people, which is a great thing for me here. So, the fact that we got to rip everybody apart because they couldn't remember WWE champions on Christmas Day, that was the topper question that I had for everybody. If you could name from 1999 to 2024 every wrestler that had held the WWE title on Christmas Day. We got 2 nights of New Japan next week. Yeah, the 4th and the 5th. Don't forget, we also have Stardom on the 3rd. Athena actually made an announcement online as well that she's being part of a Stardom show on the 3rd. So we're pretty much going to get wrestling 7 days a week coming up. This is like a mini Christmas respite of brand new things in wrestling. So we got Fight for the Fall, the TNA debut on Sportsnet, Stardom, Wrestle Kingdom, Wrestle Dynasty. Like, Monday Night Raw debut on Netflix. And then you got New Year's Evil for NXT, and then you're running right back into the Wednesdays. So January is running with eight major shows coming up to start off the year. And, yeah, once again, I love Taz having to give the graphical description of TP. Every time that TP is heading up into the top row, that is hilarious. Why are they... This is Beach Ball Mania here with the TP now. So what help does Ospreay need to advance? He needs a tie, I believe. If I go through my... I think he needs a tie between one of the last 2 matches. Because I think both these guys have 9 points, so no matter what, one of them's getting in. I'm just trying to think. Let me pull this back up here. Well, what he needs basically is this match doesn't mean a whole lot because both these guys have 9 points, I do believe, just as Ospreay does right now. And Darby lost to both of them, so they got the tiebreaker. What he needs is for Commander to pull off the upset over Claudio. If my math's right, that's what he's going to need to get in there. Either that or if it ends up being a three-way tie, we might have a match on Rampage to determine it. Oh, God. But it doesn't look good for. Sorry, Will. I don't think you're getting it. Hoping the Commander beats. Hey, we have seen weirder things, and remember what happened on the last match of last year. Daniel Garcia beat Brody King to block King to get to playoffs. So anything's possible. Because Brody looked like he was going to walk into that final against Kingston. But because of that loss to Garcia, it ended up going to Moxley. It ended up taking on he was on Kingston's side. That's right. I miss Eddie Kingston too. And I got... Like, based on the time that he broke his leg, we're probably looking at Double or Nothing before we're going to see him back again, so. So there you go. Do I think Saturday's return? Absolutely. I think they spoiled it bad enough already. Saying that, 6:30. Can you tell why Ricochet doesn't do the 6:30 that often anymore? So basically, for him to get in, he needs Darby to. According to what Shivani said, basically, Darby's got to win and Commander's got to win for Ospreay to get in. Like, I really wonder what's going to happen on the other side of this draw, though. It's basically we got a Benjamin versus Okada win and you're in. Then we got a Garcia versus Fletcher win and you're in. Because there's a bunch of 7s and 9s there because of that draw with Okada and Garcia. But if in fact that Garcia or Okada can win, they can get up to 10 points. That pretty much should guarantee a second spot because the other guy can't get up any higher than that. But it almost makes me wonder if we're going to get a tie out of this on something here. But yeah, this night is getting exciting. And the fact that we know that these matches are 20 minutes max. And they pretty much paced it out that, every match is able to get 20 minutes if there's no promos. We are scheduled to have 4 promos, though. With Hangman, with Mox, with Jay White, and with Swerve. So, But yeah, when it comes to draws, I love playoffs like this. I love tournaments like this because, especially around this time of year, because once again, everybody, thank you for being here. And it sort of correlates to this. A lot of people don't have a lot of time this time of year. You're busy shopping. You're busy dealing with family. You're busy dealing with work. And like, I work retail. Retail around the Christmas season is just stupid at the best of times. But with the fact that we can catch things up real quick when you see X and Y. Here's your standings. Here's your matches. The only thing I would recommend for AEW, and the one thing I wish they would do, and they haven't done it last year, I hope they do it this year. And YouTube is great for this because I've seen this happen many times. Put an entire, whether it be a playlist or whether it be, and I'm sure they could do this on Max too, whether it be a playlist or just a straight YouTube video all the way down of every single Continental Classic match. Just as things go along here, just put them down chronological order. And after every match, you can put the graphic up. This is the standings. Move on to the next match. That would be a hell of a big one, but wouldn't be surprised that ends up on Max. I think it'll end up on Max eventually. If Tony's smart, he would. I would almost pay one of those special reporters down in Orlando to ask that question if they could. Oh, God. Ricochet just jumps right over the referee into Darby's ribs. Just like I'm waiting for the best of compilations on Max. Yeah, like, I'm just happy that if people turn on Max, they actually get to see that AEW is on there. Just like right now, if you turn on Netflix, you do get to see blank playlists of WWE on there. And I do find it funny. A lot of people passed on this idea. I forgot all about it. For people that didn't watch today, the NFL had their Christmas Day games on Netflix. It's the first year they're doing that. But they had CM Punk up during one of the games. They're trying to sell the first Raw coming on January 6th. Well, he decided to get into a long conversation about the Bears. He is not really a... he's not the most receptive when it comes to football, but he found a way to diss the Bears. Yes, I know Punk's from Chicago, but that is more specifically Seth Rollins' team. So, you want to talk about external storytelling? That is that. Liv was at the Ravens-Texans game. Yeah, I saw that too. Seth Rollins is always chatting about how much he hates... No. Gold Wolf, by the way, appreciate the first time chat. He's only complaining about hating football on X only because his Bears suck. Because every week, it's always going to be the Bears' year. And it's not this year. But yeah, just Punk from Chicago, Rollins from Iowa, but Punk getting at Rollins about the Bears. I know it's a little bit of all over the place, but Punk's not really a football guy. So he's more of a hockey guy, so God bless his heart. Or whatever higher being you deal with. For me, my higher being's usually right around KFC or somewhere around there. Punk more of a POS guy, yeah. Yeah, give me that. This is how you get Darby the win without, you know. Punk's higher power is Larry? Yeah. I think for many of us it would be Larry too. Oh, Shivani botched the call. Shout out to Deonna Purrazzo with the call there. Toe on the rope, damn it. So someone should ask Punk, who do you hate more, Rollins, Hangman, or AEW? Eh. I'll be honest, I don't think... I really don't think that Punk hates AEW that much. I think he's more oblivious to him at this point. And to me, I find that, you know, and this is coming from personal experience in my wrestling world here. The bigger disrespect you can have for someone, the biggest disrespect you can have for somebody is not talking about them at all. You talk about somebody bad, they're gonna go looking for why. You talk about somebody good, they're gonna look to see the good in it. Nope. It's a draw. And the TP finally makes it into the ring. Darby's out. Ricochet's in. Now, Commander has to beat Claudio for Ospreay to get in. So yeah, it's simple now. If Commander beats Claudio, if Commander beats Claudio, Ospreay gets in by virtue of the tiebreaker between the two. If Claudio gets 1 point, either a tie or a win, he moves on. And the fact that he's with the Death Riders, I almost feel that Commander might pull this one out. Sorry, I just had something pop up on my screen there. Just a quick reminder, guys, I haven't been able to update anything else while we're waiting for Darby to be upset and leave the ring. For the rest of the month, subs are 25 to 30% off. Blue leader versus gold runner up and vice versa. Yes, that's what the playoffs are. The ROH TV champ. Darby wishing some good words to Commander. I like this. I like this. Everybody wants Commander to win this one. And if you didn't get a chance to watch that match, the Survival of the Fittest match at Final Battle on Friday, do yourself a favor. Pay the $10. Get ROH online. I don't get a chance to watch a lot of ROH, but I still keep my subscription because, hell, 4 months of ROH subscription is basically the same cost of buying a PLE or a PPV. Why did I just call it a PLE? Where is it? I don't have a boo on this, damn it. Oh. As Jay White brings it up here. Biggest test for Commander yet? Absolutely. Could you imagine Jay White as our AEW champion? I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. But yeah, just to clarify for everybody here, subs are 25 to 30% off depending on how long you want to pre-book for. As well, for gift subs, if you're really generous, 5 gift subs. Actually, Valorant will the game Valorant. Go figure. They're donating extra gift subs to go with it. So that's from now until next Thursday. So no pressure at all. I just like hanging out. But if you guys really want to help support, that's the way to do it. Because who knows, at this point, I might end up needing a new hard drive. I only got this one a couple years ago, though. But anyway, off the money part, let's get to the good part here. Like, the other side is pretty straightforward. The win and you're in. Now, this one's turned out really... I like the fact that they're doing one division first, then they're doing the next division. This one has a little bit more of a story to it, so you play out the 3 matches, and having Ospreay come out first to get the win sort of takes the drama out of his match. I think almost you want to leave that for third. If Commander ends up winning this, it would have made Ospreay that much more fired up for the match. And it would have almost gave it more of a grandiose feel to it. But at the same time, it almost gives an underdog story to Commander. Like, let's face it, everybody here sitting here now, Commander ain't winning this. Who's kidding who here? We're not going to see that, but... Would it start with Darby Ricochet? Yeah, like that one. Darby and Ricochet to me sort of means the least out of the 3 matches in the group. And I only say that relatively speaking, of course, because it was simply win and get in, or in Ricochet's case, tie and get in. Like, Ricochet only needed 1 point. Darby needed the 3. That was cut and dry for that spot. Now, this other one here, we're looking at this second match. Now it looks like, okay, Claudio's can be really cocky about it with the fact that all he has to do is survive one more. He only has to deal with one more guy who's doesn't have a point yet. And he gets to walk into the semis. And you take that lackadaisical attitude and Commander beats him. Then you got Ospreay coming out, like, as soon as that music started and Claudio's about to leave the ring, you just have Ospreay's music hit and Claudio going ballistic. Can you tell Excalibur's worked 3 shows in 3 days?
Absolutely. And this too could be lopsided if Claudio keeps doing what he's doing right now to Commander. Well, obviously we know what Commander can do. We know about his offense. Claudio knows as well. As long as Claudio can just keep right down to that like
Jesus. The other thing about Claudio here, he doesn't have to go quick. Because even if Commander ends up with 1 point, he doesn't care. He'll be in. Oh, God. What the hell? And we know Claudio can work this pace. Absolutely. Most of us can work this pace.
What happened was he walks across the top rope, and he saw that Claudio
Throw one move every 20 seconds. Maybe you just crawl on that way.
Remind everyone, we've got some big events coming up. Of course, this Saturday is World's End, the Addiction Financial Arena in
You can tell that everybody thinks this is a nothing match for the fact they're literally. What do you guys Sorry, I had to jump in here. What do you guys think about them bringing back the Maximum Carnage name?
sales begin this Friday, the 27th. Tickets
I really wanted. I want some 8-bit graphics for this one.
for Collision are homecoming Saturday, January 25th at Daly's Place and All In Texas, Arlington at Globe Life Field on Saturday.
Because isn't Maximum Carnage? That's the Spider-Man game. What am I talking about?
And also our last
From Super Nintendo, right?
of the calendar year next week.
Oh God. Oh God, Commander.
Issue that might be Commander if this happens, but I think's about to happen. Oh, they're from the top. As Castagnoli covers.
Think you're gonna see a lot of stuff using the Max stuff name? Yeah.
Wow, the kid got out of it. Tough. Hard.
Well, Tony, to your point, 1 week from tonight, AEW Dynamite live from Asheville, North Carolina. It will be Fight for the
No, he is a tough guy. He is really.
on Max for the first time ever, as well as airing on TBS next Wednesday night for Dynamite.
And of course, for the people of Asheville and western, the mountains of North Carolina.
It takes a lot to become a champion. From what I've heard and what I've read, there's a lot of positivity about Commander in the locker room. Like everybody loves seeing him there. So
What he does best. And that is once he's got you down, he lowers the boom. But look at this kid fight back.
I wonder how old this kid actually is. Watch him be like 40 years old.
Anderson hit me, I guess. Oh,
He came into this tournament at a disadvantage. He was the second alternate.
Don't just hit me, hit me. That's what he's probably saying to him right now.
A 2 count as Commander able to kick out. Commander came into this tournament after Juice Robinson was injured. He came into this tournament a point or a match down.
Could you imagine Juice in this position here? And Juice gave the win over Claudio? That actually would make a lot more sense story-wise, as Jay White can come out and Moxley can come out to create that momentum for the main event of World's End.
powers insane by this guy.
Well, good luck with the poison rod out of there, bud.
Claudio just too much, bringing Commander to 7 now over the top movement. Spilling the floor.
What the hell? Claudio's still hung on there. That is scary strength. That really is. How hurt is Juice? It's another ankle. He'll be out. He'll be out for probably 7 months, probably. He didn't even know he broke anything until after when they did tests. And those are the worst. All right. That shoulder's getting a beating now. The freshest announcer is Taz. Well, when's the last time Taz worked a show? September? Yeah, because it was right after Hook took that title off of Jericho. That's when Taz went in for surgery, right? The only way the Commander's going to get this is if he keeps flipping and dipping like this the whole time.
Yeah, that's what he does. He's the commander of the aircraft, as they used to call him. Well, maybe not, but he should be. How about that?
Commander of the... Taz trying to get puns out and it just ain't working. That's how you block an uppercut.
Commander countering. This is similar to the submission he was looking for on Billy King.
It's like a standing regal stretch.
He's got Claudio's body captured, looking for that abdominal stretch as well as to damage that bicep, as you were saying, Taz. But Commander, the window of opportunity for us.
Okay, I see you, Commander.
That's Commander.
That was a fun counter, though. And Claudio just saying, nope, we ain't playing here no more. Yambag City. I missed hearing that. Yambag City.
But remember, winner draw here for Claudio will secure him a semifinal spot at World's End live this Saturday on pay-per-view. By the way, scan that QR code right now. You can see World's End on YouTube. That is
And the kick is good.
exclusively on pay-per-view on YouTube. Going to keep that QR code up for a few more seconds now. Hope you'll join us this Saturday.
Oh, wait a second. Cash Glory now getting out of the face of referee. That's what's...
No way. This is going to be on. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Wow. That is some deep storytelling. Darby left the knuckles in the... That is awesome. So now we get Ospreay and Ricochet moving on to the sim. I'm pretty sure that's what most of us thought was going to happen. See, this would have made sense if it was Juice, right? Darby's like, if I'm not winning, you're not winning it either, Claudio. Hey. Now here comes Jay White for the save. And here comes Orange. Jesus, Wheeler flew there. And Wheeler gets beaten up again. Oh, please. High angle Uranagi. I love it. Moxley's got to come out here and ruin everything, though. Why is Wheeler like the constant punching bag here? Now we just need Hangman out here. Moxley, the briefcase. Interception on the 20 on that second one. So for anybody that still hasn't figured it out yet, Moxley says no one even deserves to see the AEW World title. So that's why he still has it like that. In that briefcase. See what I mean? Secret of the title isn't in there. It's in Renee's purse. Wouldn't surprise me either. Like, I really don't know what to make of Hangman, and that's a good thing. He's still got his wallet in him. Oh, Moxley, you just realized you're stuck in there with three guys who want to kill you on Saturday. So I think whatever match comes up next is going to help determine. My prediction on Saturday, Jay White hits the Blade Runner, but Moxley intercepts somebody to get that cover. The whole crowd's like, open it, open it, open it. No, you save it for when you need to. I still think I think all hell breaks loose after the match and you hear the cleaner. Yeah, I think my personal opinion about what's going to happen. Oh, here we go. Monet and Statlander. This is going to be a fun match on Saturday. That's it. Well, we still have 3 more matches yet, my friend. Like these matches have been flying by, but we still got an hour. So we got Tony and Taya, we got Okada and Benjamin, which is right now. And our last match in the round robin is going to be Garcia versus Fletcher. So, if I'm doing my math right here, Ospreay holds tiebreaker over Castagnoli. That's like we said. Could you imagine Okada finishing first? Fletcher finishing second? I think it's going to be more the other way around, but if Okada finishes second and he has to face Ricochet in the first round, and we get a rerun of Fletcher and Ospreay in the first round, either way, whatever happens here, we're not going to get a bad match. Like, I don't expect Garcia. Think Omega shows up. Probably. Unless he actually makes amends with the Bucks somehow. Okada wasn't really sure how to make that, what to do with that handshake, so. I love the fact that Okada could just wear plain black trunks. If you're not familiar with Japanese wrestling at all, the kids that come out of the training dojo, until they develop their character, they're allowed to wear black. That's it. Black generic trunks, black boots. You're basically a generic wrestler number 2. Not to be confused with generic referee male referee or female referee number 2. Which, by the way, will be making a return for Season 4 of WWE 2K24 My GM Mode, which will be starting after Fight for the Fallen next Wednesday. So make sure you're in for that. Tonight, I think we're just going to take it easy after we're done here. Maybe chat for a little bit after if we want. Chat a little wrestling for a little while. But in terms of gameplay-wise, we're going to take it easy tonight. Want to see maybe I can work on my computer a little bit after we're done here. But for those that are new here, we do usually play my GM mode for WWE 2K24 after. Right now, currently, we are in first place with SmackDown and $1 Million Man as our GM. Because, of course. Thanks to some advice from Zodiac, we really pulled ahead of everybody else in terms of fans, but we sort of put a little bit of a handicap on ourselves here going into Season 4 with some of the picks that we made. But we'll make some good matches and some PLEs will work out, so. Yeah, this match... This is a match I don't think anybody ever expected. Was this on anybody's bingo card this time last year? And for me, it's actually funny that we get to see these many matches. Let's think about this. Since 2019, the number of matches that we've had the opportunity to see that I don't think any of us would have predicted we would have been able to see anywhere. I just think somehow, some way, Omega makes up with the Bucks Arena because they're struggling to get. That very well could be it. I almost think they're probably going to... Omega's going to come out by himself because that pop's going to be enough. Then eventually, if there's an Omega beatdown, you can have the Bucks come out and they're like, no, we're going to help. Well, maybe not. Hangman just looks as though, you're back. All right. Yeah, that very well could be. There's a whole bunch of different scenarios we can have with Omega. I'm really excited to see him back. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not counting my chickens until they hatch. I know that SRS is putting out posts there that the indications are they want to use Omega before he makes his debut match on January 5th. Okada will be like, wait a minute, what are you doing? Oh, Okada won't be around there at all. Because Okada is going to have that conflict. Regardless of being part of the Elite, he has that feud with Omega. And I don't know if he really wants to deal with that at this point, so... Yeah, no. I like the fact that for the last 2 months, we haven't had to worry about 6 different storylines being put together here. The majority of the storylines as we've been going along here, going into World's End, the majority of it has been on the Continental Classic. And yes, I'm being facetious when I say 6 feuds, because we know we have to piece things together for World's End, for all the titles, and then for any subsequent matches that are going to come up here. And also, the one thing I've noticed is they haven't announced a full card. Or if they have, it sure as hell isn't as long of a card as a lot of our shows have been, which this week between Christmas and New Year's, that might be... And this card was stacked. Wait for the first SmackDown. I'm going to temper expectations. You're going to get your surprises. You're going to get your good matches. But I don't think they're going to do what WWE's doing for January 6th. Like, I've been listening to people talk about the January 6th card, and if you look at it, it's probably a better card than what they're going to have at Saturday Night's Main Event, or what they had, and even what they will have. But I'm pretty sure the thing is, both of them are going to want to, on January 6th, you crown new women's IC champ. Hashtag should have been Natty, but I digress. But I do think on the first, they're definitely going to have a decent lineup. For the first Collision of the new year, we'll see. You also got to remember, a lot of the people that you would normally see on Collision are actually taking off. Whether it be Wednesday, whether it be Thursday. Even a lot of people you expect to see on Dynamite might not be around, because they're going to be heading over, getting ready for Wrestle Kingdom. Like, a lot of people forget that it is a typical 18 to 20 hour flight, depending where you are situated at. They are in Orlando, so it's a bit of an advantage if they want to go straight from there. I really wish, and I just pray that these accusations will get... I will preface this with, if this part of the accusations is found false and is cleared, could you imagine the Minnesota Wrecking Crew work at AEW? I don't know if I really want him a whole lot, but in terms of Lesnar, but... Because Lesnar and Benjamin, when they got a chance to actually be a tag team in OVW, picture those two together. Brock Lesnar. Oh, God. Benjamin didn't want to get up, and Okada's sort of soft move there. So for Okada, Taya is not going to help him. Lashley be like, not you again. Yeah, exactly. The big old elbow. Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. Everybody brace for it. Shelton, you're number one. Hey, you're not allowed to steal other people's moves. Suplex City. Boop, 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 boop. So we're talking about dream matches here, and like matches we never expected to see. What match that we haven't seen before do you want to see next year? Because I think there are a lot of different abilities that we could see here come forward. Personally, one of them that I'm really looking forward to seeing, Jay White and Fletcher. Attaboy, I love that one. Let's give that a goal horn there. Lashley Hobbs. You got big old charbroiled meat there going on. Because those guys are going to cook. MJF Okada. Battle of the Assholes. I'd love to see it. Personally, for me, I want to see Ospreay Lashley. That's a match I want to see. If Lashley or if Ospreay could find a way to work his way through the Hurt Syndicate, Lashley, Brian Cage, oh Jesus, the athleticism with those two. Pater. I love how I remember a move that Excalibur didn't. That move there, the face buster bringing down like that, that used to be known as pay dirt for Benjamin. Back when he was the gold standard. Probably isn't allowed to use the name, I understand that, but... Rainmaker out of nowhere! Clean! Clean! Clean as a whistle. And Benjamin could use the excuse that he didn't have his team there to warm him up. This actually is very smart booking. Okay, so basically winner of the last match gets the last spot. Straight up, winners in. Tie goes to Fletcher, winners in. And if two heels shaking hands, gotta love it. Two heels shaking hands, you can get away with it. Wow, he's really brushing his head quite well.
You were coming off of an incredible 2024 at one point, capturing the AEW World Championship. As this year's coming to a close, what does 2025 have in store for you?
Swerve Omega. Jesus. Oh God, here we go. Hey, KT. Thanks for the email, my friend. Kairi Padoru. All right. Ricochet Swerve is going to be nuts. Oh, this is going to be such a great match. I'm with you, Zodiac. Ricochet and... Ricochet Swerve is going to be... You know what? We're going to have to do one of these booking videos. Like, just a way out of the blue, book what we would want for All in Texas. And just to see how close we get, and just what we would want to see for a story going through. Like, there are so many possibilities of stuff we could get going into that. Like, hell, maybe we could have the ballpark go on fire and, we could have Hangman and Swerve go inside an Inferno match. Yeah, I know. Sorry, that was a bad idea. But speaking of great ideas, well, besides the fact I'm going to play an ad right now just because we're in the middle of a commercial break and you're going to get the ad anyway in a minute 50, so let's play it now. How many of you have checked out the TNT YouTube channel where they literally played the burning of Swerve's house on loop for 12 hours? Or 24 hours, sorry. Getting towards tonight's episode of Dynamite. Because I find it hilarious. A Wrestling Fans Ulog channel. Because for me, that just seems like so appropriate. It's just a lot of fun. Like, there's a lot of steps that AEW has to take to become successful. Yeah, don't get me wrong here. They got a lot of work to do still. Especially on the marketing side. That's probably where their biggest issue is. That a lot of people just don't even know they exist. But I think they're starting to take number one, they're starting to take the right steps. And number two, a lot of those steps are sending you into taking yourself outside your comfort zone in terms of a lot of things they do now. Hey, Lula. Happy Wolfmas to you as well. Love the emotes. Love the emotes. Yeah, it is a fun time of year. I hope everybody's having a great Wolfmas except for this guy.
And here on 34th Street, in the heart of Astoria, I'm still feeling the Christmas spirit. Can you feel it? I can feel it. So that's why I have one more Christmas miracle to grant. One more gift to give. And that's to you, Anthony Bowens. You challenged me on Collision. I wasn't ready then, but I will be ready this Friday night on Rampage. Anthony Bowens versus the Nueve. And Anthony, I hope things get better for you, because you don't seem to have a lot of friends lately, do you, Sizzle King, right? I hope you didn't bite off more than you can chew in the Grand Apple. So that's it. Another New York minute. We'll see you on Friday, Anthony.
So he's going to be on the final Rampage. All right. It's sort of a fitting. Casters joined the Lorraine Tree. Wouldn't surprise me either. Hey! Toni Storm through the ages. Let's go. Tony still using the old gimmick, the old song, the old outfits. Makes me wonder if she's going to get her memory back just when they hit Australia. Her bit is amazing. Yeah, like, this is why I called her the most valuable wrestler right now. It's not necessarily the best, but the most valuable. Just because even now that she's returned, such a different story coming out, and just she's made an impact. Now that she's moved into this, she's made a lot of impact. She got dissed out pretty good until people actually saw what was going on. Hey, Jared, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to you. I hope, I would say, Santa being good to you. There's only one fat man in a red suit that delivers me anything these days. Fortunately, he's in the mirror. Tony doing the rookie handshake.
Here's the thing about Tony. It's pretty apparent that Toni Storm's lack of memory is caused by trauma. Trauma
And of course, we're going to. I've had some questions about Taya here the last few matches that she's had on TV. It just seems like she hasn't had the groove together, but this one seems to be going good so far. She's a rookie. Either that or they were doing the puppies chant and they were trying to muff it up somehow. Good old hip attack. And maybe that hip attack will wake Toni up here a little bit from her amnesia.
Toni Storm trying to fight her way back into this match. Toni Storm, Shivani might think that she's still new here, that she's brand new or a rookie and she's original. Not the other here, the other. But the thing is, Toni Storm, Shivani is super talented no matter what Ronaldo's saying. I was thinking the same thing.
I was going to say, pulling her into that corner isn't going to hurt a whole lot. But wrapping your knee around that post will. And, of course, no picture-in-picture here in Canada. No, it's going to be interesting to see how things play out and how things are going to go forward here. So, All In seems to be their biggest show of the year. And I know we're... Like I said, I am planning a booking idea for what's going to happen for All In, but you guys tell me, who do you think is going to be both the men's and the women's champions for AEW after All In? Is it too early to tell? Who do you think would be there? Who do you think they're going to try push there? I honestly think they don't go with Ospreay quite yet. I think when they return to Wembley in 2026, that's when Ospreay's finally going to get it. Because that'll be year 3 of the deal. Still got 2 more years yet to play with. Oh, and another note that came out. This came out on Sunday. Dustin Rhodes got on the old X and informed us that he has re-signed with AEW. That everybody was complaining about when is he going to leave for WWE. No, he's decided that he's going to stay with AEW for the rest of his career. And the fact that he probably signed a contract long enough to last that. You're going to go with the Ospreay men, Monet women? I wouldn't be surprised. I do think they need to get that title off Monet so they can move her over to the world title. I almost think you might pull that here, and then when I honestly feel that Toni Storm's going to win at a Grand Slam Australia, the women's title, and then you could run with he'll run till they'll run that feud. Monet will run that feud with Storm all the way up to July, which wouldn't be that big of a deal. Sorry, I'm trying to read and think at the same time, and for some reason for me that just doesn't work that well. He's signed to December 2027. Apparently, he'll probably have a big match to end his career on that time. Yeah, and he could do that either way, like whether it be a big final match at AEW or he goes and does one final match. Hell, maybe even do a final Royal Rumble appearance just after that contract's done in 2027. These two are having a hell of a match here.
Sends Valkyrie back to the corner. Taya steps out, lays the great knee strike.
That really hit his mark.
Taya the misdirect the lariat takes down Toni Storm once again.
Taya looking sensational here. Yeah, every single time Toni Storm.
So the other thing I noticed, perusing the old webs the last couple days, apparently Britt Baker's been working with
Wrestling with the confidence of somebody that is a three-time former AEW Women's World Champion.
Britt Baker's been working with DDP as well as working on some acting jobs, as well as just try to get her back in better position here to continue wrestling. Maybe his last match is Cody's first match back. Wishful think. Honestly, wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, because, like, with all due respect right now, Cody Rhodes in many ways is turning into Diesel. And I'm talking about 90s Diesel, not the cool one. If you guys don't remember, Diesel was actually the WWF champion at the time, back when WWF was basically when that title was the least popular.
Now Taya Valkyrie continues her assault. It's a cradle, the leg is hooked too.
Toni Storm wins with an inside cradle. The most dangerous move in wrestling, the inside cradle. They're not even giving her time to talk. Like, they didn't even give any post anything there. Remember when Diesel was, oh God, yes. His first gimmick went from Oz to Vinny Vegas to Diesel to Kevin Nash. Hey, we got a Puff sighting on an AEW promo segment. Back when they were in Quebec there for a little bit. Continue the Diesel comparison? Well, I think it was at the point pretty much where Diesel was at a point where they really didn't care if he was champion. And more people want him to be off the title than on it. Oh, don't worry. I know you compare. I know it's... Because if you look at it right now, I think there's more people that want to see Kevin Owens as a champion than Cody Rhodes. Because as much as Cody is that white meat babyface corporate champion, the good guy champion, Kevin almost feels like, yes, he's done a lot of despicable things. Yes, he's been pissed off, but he feels a lot like what we've seen with, hell, I don't want to go with that too much of a comparison to this, but Kevin Owens feels a lot like Stone Cold Steve Austin in a way. That he's just pissed off at the system. He's just angry, and he's just going to do whatever he wants to fix the system whatever way he can. And the fact that Cody needs to be a heel who thinks he's a face but has a total lack of self-awareness, absolutely. That to me would make a lot of sense. But here's the thing. Cody's always said that he doesn't want to be a heel until his kid is grown up enough to understand that he's playing a role, not trying to be somebody actually. So, but when it comes to Cody, you can only believe about 75% of what he says, because he says lying is a gift. So yeah, I can totally see where it would be all over the place. That kid is getting older, absolutely, but I really do hope that he does do something with his character, because The character that he's got right now is not going to, I'm sure they could find a storyline to get him through Mania. Personally, my Mania pick for a match is for the WWE title would be Kevin Owens versus John Cena. Just for the fact if Cena's going to win that title for a record time, I want it over somebody who can give him a receipt for making him into the person that he is. Because that's definitely what Kevin Owens' feud with John Cena transformed Kevin Owens into an instant talent on the main roster. And if it wasn't for Vince complaining that he was like a fat that we wouldn't have this problem here right now with Kevin being so long from having a championship. At the time that he did, he lost to Goldberg. I'll get to your comment in just a second here.
Working together? Like, what's happening?
I will tell you exactly what's going on. At World's End, Jon Moxley will walk into Orlando for the last time with the World Championship. I'm sorry to interrupt. I gotta tell you something. Listen, you were right. You've gone through a lot, and I don't know what I would have done if it happened to me the same way. The last thing you need is someone talking at you, telling you what you should do. But when World's End comes around, if you need anything, wait. Tell me, CD, why I would need help. An ineffectual office stooge like you. Okay, that's fair. But these other guys in this match, they've got Bullet Club Gold and Conglomeration and Death Riders. I know you think you stand alone, that you have no friends. Well, I can relate to that. STU's not here anymore. Matt Sydal is gone. I'm alone in this locker room. But I've known you for 15 years. And you and I were AEW before AEW was a thing.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, I know you better than you think. And at World's End, if you need a friend, I'll be there.
This is an interesting dichotomy here. No interview. It's off. It's Christmas. There you go. Cody's also about the business, but want him back at AEW. I only don't like him because he turned his back on AEW. He's one of the most attractive things about it. It's fair. And yeah, in many ways, well, he wanted to do X. Tony Khan said he had to do Y. And Cody thought that it was going to bring him a bunch of Z's, so he just said CYA and not cover your ass, literally the three words together. See ya. And join the WWE. So we got 22 minutes to get Daniel's planting the seeds for Hangman. I just thought about that. Jay Quick, that's... Look at this presentation here. This actually looks really cool, the way he's like under the lights and that. But I guess I didn't... Let me do a quick rundown, folks, just because... Think about it. Yeah. It's where you get Omega in there. Daniel's like, I don't have to come out there, but I know somebody who can. I'm maybe not the fallen angel, but I got a one-winged angel to deal with it. Since I missed it, quick rundown about what we're doing here coming up next. It's always tradition here. I'll be on tomorrow with some Stellar Blade. We're going to get back into that. Then we'll be here Friday night with AEW Rampage, the final Rampage ever. Saturday we'll be here with World's End with a sidecast. Sunday we're probably going to finish up Call of Duty campaign mode. We got 2 missions left. If you guys were here last night, we finished 4 of them, and inadvertently we only wanted to do 3, and we ended up doing 4 because they were back to back. And what we're doing now is basically at the point of no return. No stream Monday, Tuesday TBA. If I can get my graphics done up before we get going here, New Year's Eve, we might be here talking my favorite games of 2024 that I have played. Last year, we did a tier list of all the games that I played in 2024 and ranked them based on preference and got a little goofy with it. I played one of my favorites from the year, so best thing to do, just if you haven't hit the follow button, do so. Join the Players Club. Free food, free company. If they start charging you, be careful what they're offering. And watch out for the punch, because I think McGee spiked it still. But the office is closed on Christmas, so I can't really find out whether it's true or not this time. So, with his balls. Wouldn't surprise me, to be honest. Oh, this crowd is A+ tonight. Could you imagine it going to a coin flip for Garcia and Okada for who gets first? Daniels had a point. All three other guys in the main event have. We've all been saying that. But here's the thing: Jay White doesn't have that faction because none of them are available. Juice is injured. I think it's Colton that's injured as well. Either Colton or Austin are injured, so one of the two. The other one hasn't been on because the other one's injured. So they basically are treating him as a package deal at this point. Now that everything's lined up the way it is, I think this is pretty much going to be... there is a potential we could end up getting Okada versus Ospreay in the final. Jesus! Fletcher only likes Home Alone 3. All right, that was a good quality sign there. I will say that. That is definitely an expert sign right there. But looking into World's End here, how things are going to line up, like Ricochet Okada is definitely going to be a fun one. The hardest part of the ring. Hangman, it's time to carry on my wayward son. I've always hated that hardest part of the ring part. The only reason it is mildly true, for somebody who has set up a few rings, I'm not saying I set up a lot, but I have set up a few. It's the only part of the ring that's actually metal that you touch. Because more often than not, it is, it's just wood boards there. Some promotions use plywood, some use metal, some use wooden boards. I haven't seen much of anything else besides those two for the I find the one with the plywood actually gets to it is a little bit stiffer in many ways because there's less breaks in between. The plywood or the boards, typically I've seen 2x6s, I've seen 2x8s. Normally the wider you get, the better off you are, and hopefully they don't slide. Like I've seen a few of them go. But yeah, the edge is hard just because it's got that little rail on the side. If you get yourself caught in there and pinch yourself, that will be painful. I'll never forget the time that Danielson got caught in between the ring and the ramp when they had that elevated ramp at Daly's place and the ring shifted just as Danielson got there. I think the one person that's going to be most grateful when this match is over is Excalibur. But folks, what are your thoughts? We got one more to go. Friday night. So far, we've seen 3 of the 4 shows from Hammerstein. What do you think of it? Yeah, he can rest his voice for... Well, he's going to have a full week, right? Because this was recorded on Sunday. What have you thought about being in Hammerstein? I feel it's a great atmosphere. It's been a great crowd. And I would love to see them do this on a little more consistent basis. Absolutely, Zodiac. I agree with you. Like, it has been amazing. Jesus. And Fletcher's like, nope, no, not liking that. And Fletcher goes flying over the top. Do you really want to be sitting on that chair, Fletcher? I love the fact that Taz is getting his groove back so quickly here on commentary. I think that's why Daly's plays so special too. Is the smaller crowds just come across better ones. Yeah, like it'll be interesting to see what happens at Asheville next week. I really do feel that they should be running smaller venues outside of the PPVs. Except when they come to, venue places only have. Oh, they're running Orlando the same night as World's End. WWE is making no bones about it. They're running the same night. And the card that they got lined up for that, Jesus. It is a PLE base size card, right? Like it is truly disgusting what I love how Taz's like, no, sit down. Nope, never mind, you get rid of a counter that way. Oh, I think the C2 might be overall. The C2 will be one of the most exciting spots, but I don't think there's going to be a bad spot on the card. You want to talk about Brainbuster? Only 2? Jesus. The hard truth is that Vince gave AEW more room to breathe than Triple H or TK. Yeah, absolutely. That'll hurt Garcia. Absolutely it will. No, Vince never considered AEW a threat. Triple H and TKO do. Are they going to be a real threat right now? No. Can they grow bigger to become a bigger threat? Absolutely. And the field goal. And that's going to finish it. Never mind. I think the WWE roster wants yeah, like, the workers don't give two shits. I see it on all levels, like even at our local level. All the wrestlers just want wrestling to be successful. Most promoters are a bunch of pricks that just want to make sure that their promotion's successful, be damned if everybody else is. And the fact that other ones are successful is taken away from their success. I've seen the pettiness. Like, Drew said that Instagram, they're friends of the AEW wants to... Yeah, like, everybody does. Like, but here's the thing, and I do understand where the promoter's coming from. If you look at what's going on during the week, like, hell, we just talked about what's going to happen the first week, right? Garcia, oh, Fletcher slipped there. Fletcher slipped. That was a car crash. But yeah, wrestlers just simply want... They want more place to work. They want their friends to be able to work. And if you can find somebody on another roster that builds up enough that you want to go face them, it's good to have choices, right? It's always good to have choice. Jesus. Well, there's a gunshot. All you hear is just gunfire going off everywhere. Boom, boom, boom. Hold on, here we go. Roll up. Everybody, what difference is Triple H more willing to work with companies Vince wasn't? Yes and no. Triple H is willing to work with promotions that'll make him look good. Be damn what happens to the other guys. And don't tell me that's any different with TNA. Because look at the people that NXT sent over to TNA versus who came the other way. The only one I'll give an exception to is send Nakamura over to Noah. And that was pretty much just to keep Nakamura happy. In a lot of ways, Triple H more ruthless than Vince, absolutely. And less PR skills. Oh, could you imagine there? And look who's about to be free agents in TNA, the Triple H. Exactly. Like I said, if it helps him out, he'll do it. AEW is no different. When, like, Omega tried to do some work, but Tony Khan shut down a lot of it, so. Yeah, there you go, Goldwolf. That's exactly it. All right, it is official. Fletcher versus Ospreay 2 coming up at the pay-per-view. What is Garcia doing? Today was like, oh, yeah, you want Jordan Grace? Okay. We got Jordan Grace. You got Hammerstone. You got Hendry that came over. Are you kidding me? We get this on Saturday. This is probably going to be the opener. Kaz as well one night, yeah. So Fletcher can't even celebrate. So this is how Dynamite's going to go off the air tonight, with Fletcher and Ospreay facing off. And everybody's forgetting the other matchup. Okada versus Ricochet. You cannot tell me we're not going to get Okada and Okada Ricochet in a tournament final. And the only reason I say, hey, Andre, happy Dynamite Day to you, Tussa. We just got the announcement of the semifinals for the Continental Classic here. We're getting Fletcher and Ospreay 2. And Okada and Ricochet in the other half, which we're just going to win. And this card all the way up and down. Want Fletcher versus Okada in the final with Fletcher winning? I almost think they're going to do Okada Ospreay personally, but I would love to see Fletcher get through. I just think that Tony Khan wants to find a way to get a Okada versus Ospreay match on his card. I'm just looking for good matches, and this card is lining up to be an absolute banger, right?
Almost forgot. It's free for the price of one. Oh, well, damn, that's a hell of a deal. Everything's just working out in my favor, just like it's supposed to. Just like it has to, even if it isn't always pretty. Even if it isn't always comfortable. Except today. On Saturday night, I separate the wheat from the chaff in triplicate. And we continue our work. There's a lot of work to do, not a lot of time to do it in. We continue our crusade against ego, against delusion. And that Paige, Jay White, Orange Cassidy, they lack will, they lack spirit, they lack heart. Up and down AEW at every level around.
Jesus.
Nobody wants it. They say they do, they think they do, but they don't really, really want it. Extraordinary things. Extraordinary feats require extraordinary sacrifice, and if you are not willing to sacrifice, if it's too hard for you, if you can't take that much time to look up from your phone while tanks are rolling in, then I will sacrifice.
See, Mox, I'd be looking at my phone looking for reinforcements. So I don't know what you're saying here.
Rewarded, something you can hold in your hand. No. It's something you are. It's who you are. It's in here. It's not for me to parade trophies around, showing off my gold, getting a limo with my belt, take an Instagram picture with my belt, sit by the pool with my big shiny fancy belt. Everybody, look at me. Look at my big shiny trophy. I wear what I want, I can do what I want, I can say what I want, because I know exactly who I am. When I speak, they listen. When I'm on the move, they get the hell out.
Mox, I'd worry about a cleaner, absolutely.
I was born to be king, born for all the things that come with it. And I'm the only king there has ever been.
Wait. Hold on. Mox just gave a last little quote about something else there that just triggered me a little bit. I don't know if you guys noticed it too at the end of that promo. I am the king. I am the only king. For some reason, I remember that AEW has a Mad King. Could there be a possibility that Kingston's ready to go? Yes, I understand that Omega pretty much is going to be an appearance at the pay-per-view. But could this be an Eddie Kingston moment? I think Omega would be a bigger pop, but you could always reserve that pop for another time. But yeah, Coppola will be FTR's partner. Yeah, like that's one of the most obvious ones that we've seen. It's like when they introduced the CM Punk debut for Rampage. There's a big rumor that somebody's going to show up. It's called The Last Dance. We're opening up this brand new show in a building of 19,000 people. It's going to be the same thing next Wednesday. Like, let's not even kid ourselves here. And we're talking about it's still going to be awesome. Like, we got 8 straight days of amazing wrestling coming up starting next Wednesday. Watch it be Briscoe. I'll just throw that there for you. Because, yeah, on the first, we got Fight for the Fallen. Tuesday, we got the second, we got the TNA debut on Sportsnet. So I know they're going to do something for a new TV channel deal that they got. Friday is the Stardom show that Athena mentioned that she's going to be at. The 4th is Wrestle Kingdom. 5th is Wrestle Dynasty. 6th is the debut of a Raw on Netflix. The 7th is New Year's Evil for NXT. The big Stardom shows on the 29th. I don't think, from what I saw, that Athena said she was coming over for a show on the 3rd. That's why I wondered about that, because she said she's going over there early. Yeah, she's going to be at the smaller Stardom show. That's what she cut a promo about that on her socials. So, and the 29th is going to be, well, we got the 28th, we got World's End. 29th, we got the Dream Queendom. 30th is the last Raw on USA. The last 2-hour wrestling show we're going to get for a while out of WWE. Yeah, she's teaming with Thekla against, I forget. I believe the term is porcelain hussies is what Athena uses for describing her opponents. I think that's what she said about it. So I know you and Melba will be covering all about that on Japanese Wrestling Update with the Stardom Wrestling Review. And yeah, there's another one. I almost feel like there are so many videos that I really want to. This is why my computer couldn't have broken down at the worst time. My actual desktop computer, because there's a lot of videos I want to do right now. And Jay Quick, you're sort of summing up one of them right there. Like all the expected debuts and returns and things I'm looking forward to on different promotions. The return of Omega, the return of Joe, the return of Kingston. Toni Storm getting the opportunity to wrestle in front of her home crowd for Grand Slam. A Ball Diamond show getting a decent crowd. Whoa!
Call this a sucker riot.
Rick, how you
Come
doing
on,
here?
boys.
Nats
Let's
fan.
take him to school.
Good to see you. Thank you for the follow. Don't hit the agenda.
One more
Don't
for the
ever
good
hit the
guys.
agenda. Don't let me forget to tell you a good story about that. Andre can tell you about that. Thank you, Nats fan, for the support. Let me get the rate up here. Nick, thank you. thank you everybody for coming in here. Let's get the shout out up here. For those that are new here, my name is Mike the Ref. I am a variety streamer, former professional referee, former pro wrestling commentator up here in the great white world of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Yeah, I was just going to talk about that here, so thank you, Rick, for the follow as well. Thank you for joining the Players Club. I appreciate every time you're... Oh, King Zoom told you there. Thank you. You guys are awesome. I just appreciate having y'all here. So don't hinder the gender and everybody else. For those that want a quick story here. Actually, let me get the introduction. If you come into the streams, you know I could all over the place. What did you think of Dynamite tonight? As I give you guys a little bit of description of what I do here. So yeah, former referee for 25 years, volleyball, soccer, basketball, penalty box guy for hockey. Yeah, I do believe we do on but we also cover pro wrestling up here in Edmonton for pretty much from 2015 till the pandemic. If you check out the YouTube channel !Wrestling, it'll let's see here, we can see if that works. There it is. That's our wrestling channel, so there's a lot of information there, plus a lot of matches from up here in the Alberta region. You're in New Brunswick. Cool. Gotta love Canadians. And we're here for every AEW Collision and Dynamite. This week we're going to be here for the final Rampage and World's End. Don't like bum spray. Wait, well, we all have faults. It's okay. You're hindering the Osprey instead of hindering the Jinder. But yes, let me get to the quick story here about the Jinder story. Well, after Jinder got released his first time, he came back up here because he originally worked over here in Virginia. Nice. So Jinder comes up here and he's working with PWA here in and basically that's the gateway from Alberta into WWE. That's where Natty came from, Tyler Breeze came from, Rick from the Ascension came from, Tyson Kidd came from, all that lineup there. So we're in a battle royal. Jinder, first thing right off the bat, ladder's on the ground. He wants the ladder out of the ring rather than going for the briefcase up top. Damn it. Ads. All right, well, we'll get back to it in a sec here. I'll get that here. Wait, what the? I call time. It's okay. Nick!
But I'm better than you. And you know it!
Nick, thank you for the sub. Appreciate you. It's all right, Nick. I actually am holding up on the story until we get back from the ads. Thank you. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for the sub. Enjoy the food. Enjoy the company. Watch out for the punch. We think McGee spiked it with something. And, yeah, welcome to the Players Club. And I love the fact that in the chat right now, everybody's like, oh my God, I'm missing the story. Oh God, I'm missing the story. I'll wait till the ads are done to finish the story. It's like Cody Rhodes taking too long to finish the story. Seems like I'm doing the same thing here tonight. So, for those watching the replay on YouTube here are going to just be laughing. All right, we're back for the ads. Sorry, ads play automatically and I missed it, so I didn't get a chance to here. So I promised you guys I would wait. It's like Cody Rhodes. What I mentioned is this is like Cody Rhodes Taking way too long to finish a story. Just saying. Anyway, so we're at a PWA show here, and that's the feeder system for basically Northern Alberta. Yeah, got it. We're good. We're good. We're going. Jinder comes up here working a PWA show, and PWA typically has, like, they had Rick Victor, Tyson Kidd, Natty Neidhart, and all the different, basically anybody that's worked Western Canada has worked out of the PWA if you're gone to WWE. So anyway, Jinder got fired, comes back to PWA to do some more work, his first show back, and he's involved in one of the Money in the Bank briefcase matches, like basically the equivalent. It's a clipboard instead, but whatever. So the first thing that Jinder does when he's in the ring, there's a ladder lying there. Takes somebody took the ladder down instead of up. Oh yeah, I know love wrestling. Spencer's my former partner. Emphasis on former, but that's another story for another day. So Jinder takes this ladder, and he literally boots it because he wants to boot it out of the ring, right? All right, so you're kicking something. Normally, if you're kicking a ladder underneath the ring, it's going to hit a ring rung and shake its way down and knock to the ground. Well, knowing Jinder's luck, scoots right underneath it. It's an aluminum ladder. It's not one of those heavy fiberglass ones. Ends up getting that Canada dude and our buddy Brian Hamilton, rest in peace, gets them both on the knee. Misses me about that much, by about that much. We're sitting in the front row. So basically the next 10 minutes is involving Jinder throwing somebody outside the ring towards us and trying to beat down on this guy as he's turning around to both these guys saying, "Are you okay?" Boom. "I'm so sorry about that." Boom. "Won't happen again." Boom. Come visit me after the show." Boom. And we're fans. We know what's going to be there. We just had a good time, and it did smart a little bit for them for a little bit, but I'm glad that Jinder's getting his run as Raj Desi right now, and he's getting to work on his own pace and working with what he wants to do. So as far as I'm concerned, that is a big win. And we were talking about this earlier, and just seeing how many people are succeeding right now, and just the things that we get to see going on in the future. We were talking about all the dream matches. Yeah, he's an absolutely great guy. Jinder, like that whole family, from Raj to you got from Raj to his dad to his brother. Like that whole group there, like you're in Edmonton, you have to know who they are. If you know about local wrestling in Edmonton, you have to know the history of those guys in there, and they are absolutely fantastic dudes. I've had the privilege of actually working with every single promotion here pre-pandemic in Alberta at one point. From I started in 2015 and going on until 2020. So. Do I like NXT? I like all, like, do I go out of my way to watch it? Yes and no. I know this is a little weird that I'm giving a shout out to somebody that isn't even in here, but I'm going to, because if you guys want good NXT coverage, couple people that work with us over here and with Backbreaker Video work with our local establishment, including that Canada dude. They do an NXT wrap-up show every Tuesday night after NXT's done. So make sure you give them a follow if you can. They do that. They also did some Marvel talk today with talk about the Christmas Deadpool, the Deadpool book at the end of the Deadpool movie. Tomorrow they're talking What If, the new Marvel series that dropped on Disney. Plus they have a Japanese wrestling update that goes up every Friday. I'm sure they got a lot more stuff. It's been a long day. I've actually, for those just popping in, I am streaming off my backup computer right now because my main one decided to, when it did its last update, it decided to not allow my OBS to work properly. So I'm in the process of fixing that computer. So good thing I'm using the computer that I used to make videos, like live broadcast wrestling shows from. So it is a little bit laggy at times, but it gets the job done. But no, getting into tonight, I do feel that the booking order of the matches was a little off for at least the Gold League at the beginning. What I find is I'll talk about the booking here one second. I'll just quickly add in the issues that are coming up is with a certain build of Windows 11, and basically what happens is anything involving a capture card, it just won't catch. So it'll just crash your OBS altogether. So basically I'm doing a clean install on my computer right now and just trying to see if that'll do it. But in terms of booking tonight, what I would have done, and we were talking about this earlier during the show, I would have had the the second matchup I would have went first between Darby and my brain is going 16 ways from sideways here. The Darby match I would have put second. The Claudio Commander match I would have put third. Oh, the Darby Ricochet match, yeah. I would have put them first, because basically that was a win and you're in match. Either way. Like, it really didn't matter for Ospreay's hopes to get in. But then that second match when Commander beats Claudio, that shows a little bit extra fired up for Ospreay. And Brody gets the extra advantage of knowing that he has to really fire up to beat Ospreay here, because Ospreay knows if he wins, he gets in. But other than that, like, that's almost nitpicking at this point. This was absolutely an amazing episode to wrap up the round robin tournament. And I mentioned it before, round robin tournaments are actually really good to have at this time of year, because as you're doing a round robin tournament, and let's face it, wrestling fans are just like everybody else. We have lives, we are busy, especially at this time of year. This time of year, more than anything, people are focused on doing other things other than watch wrestling. We do have four major promotions that are going to be on TV every week now. Plus, we have Christmas shopping to do. We got families to take care of. We got so many other things going on. And a tournament like this, you get the chance to just plug and play for a lot of this. So the fact you could just walk in and just boom, put this match in here. All you need to know about storylines for these matches is literally a scorecard. Okay, these two are facing off. This guy's got this many points. This got this many points. If he doesn't win this, he doesn't get to advance. There's not a lot of thought to get into, and that's perfect for this time of year. Because if you miss one, you can go back and watch it later, but you're not missing this. It's like watching a soap opera when you miss 2 weeks of it, right? When you miss 2 weeks of a soap opera, you got to take a little bit of, trying to figure out what happened to get you to that point. When you do a tournament like this in this busy time of year, you don't need to think. Which, granted, for most wrestling fans, sometimes isn't. I'll just throw that there. But, World's End is going to be a lot of fun. People are saying one of the best Dynamites of the year. Like, AEW is going on a run. I will say that right now. AEW's going on a run because this one's amazing. Friday is a lot of fun, even though we got Chris Jericho versus Anthony Bowens coming up on the card. And they're going to close out. If this is going to be the last Rampage, you know Tony Khan's going to basically do the equivalent of burning it down. So, we'll see how that goes. World's End is just lining up to be an amazing show. You'll be back. Okay, we're going to be here for a few more minutes. It's not going to be around too much longer here. But yeah, we'll still stick around for a little bit here. We'll see you in a sec here, Mr. Hinda the Jinda. But in terms of the women's matches, we got Thunder Rosa versus Mariah May. I think it's pretty much straightforward of what's going to happen. Mercedes Moné and Statlander should absolutely steal the show in many ways. They've already went once, and now they're going to be a little bit more in tune with each other and how they go. I think you almost might put the title on Statlander here. You got just so much more willing to go here. Then you got the semifinals and the final of the C2, which Fletcher and Omega, or Fletcher and Ospreay, and Ricochet and Okada. I don't care what combination you get out of that. You're getting 3 great matches out of that. And what'll probably end up happening is Ospreay will beat Fletcher, and Fletcher will beat him up after the match, bust up his ribs or saying. And then you'll have either Ricochet or Okada come through and take advantage of it. Do I think Ospreay gets the Continental title? No. But here's one thing. Here is one thing if you really want to be petty here. And we were talking about this a couple weeks ago over here in one of our chats. You have the Continental Champion be Will Ospreay. You have him challenge Konosuke Takeshita for the international title, like title for title. What do you get if you get a winner? Almost sounds like you get an intercontinental champion, if you ask me. Not saying, just saying. But then on top of that, you got Takeshita taking on Willie Hobbs. That's going to be a fun match on the card. You got... we're getting I think it's Top Flight versus Private Party. Oh no, it's the Mini Bowser Bunch. Leo Rush and Action Andretti taking on Private Party, if I do remember right. Yeah, the main event. Well, yeah, the main event 4-way. And it's very, yeah. We got the main event. I always like thinking about that last. And there's a really neat dynamic to all this. And like I said, it's one of those things that we've been bringing up and just analyzing a little bit as we go through here. And being a comic book fan that I am, I like to see how this is, like what we're doing right now in AEW with the world title, feels a lot like what would happen after Thanos did the snap in Marvel's Avengers Infinity War. Because once we got to that Infinity War and the snap happened, we didn't get to see much of what happened in that 5 years up until Endgame, where they decided to go back in time and fix things. Right now, it looks like Moxley is Thanos, and he's basically just snapped Danielson right out of it. And now you're starting to sort of see the storyline play out. What would happen after that happened? Like, how people would react. First, you got Orange Cassidy, who, to me, is like a minor hero. Throw out a Hawkeye or something like that. He was trying to go one-on-one with Thanos to take back the gauntlet and take control back. Didn't work by himself. Now you're getting Hawkeye and all the crime bosses. Which, let's face it, White's supposed to be a heel. Hangman's supposed to be a heel. Orange still being a face. Everybody just doing their best to try and take out Big Bad Thanos. So when Mox wins on Saturday, he comes out and says absolutely nobody could ever beat me, which is a callback to All In 2021, which is if you do remember, that was the return of, or that was the debut of Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson. He says that nobody can come beat him. Out comes Omega. Omega comes out and he's making his debut. He's not going to wrestle, but we are going to get into the original sin of AEW. The original feud of AEW. If anybody doesn't remember, the main event feud going into our first Dynamite was the Kenny Omega Jon Moxley feud that actually introduced us to the concept of a lights out match. Remember when he went through the glass and at the original Double or Nothing, when Moxley put Omega through the poker chips on the display? We're going to go back to the original sin and play that out here. You have that response at that end of the night. Next Wednesday, let's face it, nobody's even kidding each other. Adam Copeland's making his return next Wednesday, teaming up with FTR to take on the Death Riders. There's a very high possibility that FTR and Copeland could end up being the trios champs next Wednesday. I could almost feel it in my bones coming up. They're going to pipe it up, and that's a show to support the people that got caught in the hurricanes out in South Carolina. Or North Carolina, sorry, Asheville. I'm from Canada. I don't remember all these places, but AEW is in a very sweet spot right now. It's all about what Tony Khan wants to do with it. And I know that next week's Dynamite might be a little light on talent, depending on which way they go and who's going to be available, because a lot of that talent is flying across the pond for Wrestle Kingdom and Wrestle Dynasty on the 4th and 5th. But you can't tell me that whatever's left here is not going to put on a fantastic show. This is the advantage of having a roster the size that they have. What I'd love to see is see Moxley show up at Wrestle Dynasty after Omega beats Gabe Kidd. If he shows up there, beats the living crap out of Omega out there. Because that means he'll go anywhere to destroy this cancer before it shows up. And yeah, Jay Quick, I want to throw back to a comment that he made. It's an actual all-star comment for tonight. Sort of throws things into perspective here. Hangman getting told by Christopher Daniels that there is that he has a friend if he needs it, which might be, and I think Jay Quick was bang on with this. It very well could be the snoozer comment of the night when he said that to the old Hangman there. Hangman doesn't have many friends, but in many ways he's not the bad guy here. And there's a lot of parallels between Hangman and Owens in some ways here. Hangman's just taking it to a lot more extremes than what Owens has. But all in all, I do have to say, I think we're going to have an absolute fantastic week of wrestling coming up here. And yeah, it's all starting tonight. Tomorrow we got our... Imagine Hangman brings in Owens. I'd love to see Kevin Steen in AEW. I don't know if we're going to see it anytime soon. The only thing that holds hope for me is this going to be the one final feud for Owens? If this is just to bide Owens over until he gets screwed over at his third Royal Rumble, I think Kevin signed for a while, though, so I don't even think that's the case. I would love to see it, but I don't think it's going to happen. Steena's done it. Yeah, like, there is a couple things he's got left to do. Like, I got to feel he's... My personal preference is Owen Cena for the WWE title at Mania, but I think we might actually get Zayn versus Owens at Mania. And that might be a thank you to the hard work they put in last year to make that tag match worth being a main event of 2 years ago. For everything that they've done to try and clean everything up, so. But yeah, like, this is going to be a lot of fun, and Birds of the KO should have won Saturday Night's Main. I think we all do. I think this is pretty obvious where it's been, where it's going. I think they're going to either do it at the next Saturday Night's Main Event or the Rumble is where the blow-off match is going to be. If it's going to be the Rumble, I don't see Owens winning. Yeah, we were talking about this earlier. Like, if you didn't hear, Dustin Rhodes actually announced on Sunday that he re-signed with WWE. Or, sorry, with AEW. For another 2-year contract through 2027. Or 3-year contract, sorry. And we were talking about how things are lining up for him and how he's going to retire at AEW. Well, and one of the foregone conclusions that we made, and one thing we talked about there, what about if Dustin's last match in AEW is Cody's return? What if Cody's contract runs out and he realizes that things were a little more greener where he was? And maybe they set up that he comes back and sort of fits in the flow a little bit more. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but there is always that possibility. And I think it would be absolutely amazing if that was the case. Having a little bit of extra star power in black hair Cody only. I will give you that. No, 2025 is looking to be such a positive year going forward when it comes to wrestling that it's hard to believe that you're not going to get a lot of surprises, a lot of debuts. I know that people are upset that Netflix basically spoiled Becky Lynch's return with the advertising segment, which, let's face it, they've done advertising segments where we have advertising segments in Canada where they still have people that were cut years ago as part of the commercial. Don't need to have surprises. Keep the momentum. I think the momentum is having surprises. One of the big thing for me when it comes to wrestling, you make your show must see because you never know what's going to happen. Like even tonight, the way things worked out, Ospreay needed a victory by either Commander or Darby to get in. You really didn't know what was going to happen, but you sort of did with the fact that, you don't need Claudio in that match against, in the semifinals or the finals. You really didn't need him with all the Death Rider stuff going on with the world title. And then on the other side, basically it was win and get in, right? AEW relied on surprises so much, Tony's announcements, so on and forth, that AEW is struggling for it now. I think Tony Khan's learned a little bit of a lesson here. And now that let's face it, he is 5 days away from getting max money. That contract kicks in January 1st. So he doesn't need to worry about major announcements. Tony Khan's more under the fact that he's just doing it. He's not having to worry about, the shock value of everything going on. And yes, I know we're going to ads here, so I'll make sure we stick out after the break here a little bit. We're gonna shut things down here in a few moments here, but we're still still plugging away. We're having a lot of good talk here about wrestling here tonight, and I'm here for it. I am loving everything that's going on here today. But yeah, when it comes to Tony's announcements, yes, he's made. I think we all can say with a lot of confidence that Tony Khan, when it comes to marketing, when it comes to promotion, when it comes to a lot of things dealing with the business side of AEW, he absolutely sucks. He sucks. Like, we could throw so many darts at the wall, so many boneheaded moves that Tony Khan has done. Some are not his fault. Like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre match, that was not his fault that the game sucks so bad. If a game is offering you X amount of money, I give him a half pass on the AEW video game, because let's face it, the game is good for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Then you can sit and put it away forever. All the DLC that they keep wanting to add, being full price at this point still, it's bullshit. Just straight up bullshit. I don't fault them for trying to get the past developers there and try to get that feel of the game back. But they should have had the contract better, that they had a right of refusal and a right to fix things up there. So, but no, what I was saying during the break here, just quickly, the biggest problem with Tony Khan is his marketing expertise. And yeah, I know. I see the chart here, and so that's why I was waiting. Tony Khan's marketing, when it comes to big announcements, when it comes to advertising shows, when it comes to a lot of things, he's just horrible. But every promoter's got their faults. Like, let's face it, Levesque, when it comes to PR, is absolutely brutal. I think we've all seen it. If you guys don't remember what happened during the sexual assault trials, the press conference at the Royal Rumble, and the fact that he said that we take care of our people rather than say we're looking into it. Triple H can't book Hispanic wrestlers. That's a gimmick that comes up. Hell, Triple H can't book Hispanic wrestlers. Tony Khan can't book women. Or sorry, can't book more than one women's storyline at a time. Even right now, like the Mariah May, Thunder Rosa, and Mercedes Moné, Chris Statlander feuds almost feel like half feuds. So it only in many ways, it feels like you're only booking for one feud. So to me, it just doesn't make a lot of sense going forward here like that. And just, it's very frustrating to watch people with such, it's like when you're watching somebody with a Lamborghini in a race and he decides he doesn't want to take it out of third gear just because he wants to protect his baby. And he thinks slow and steady will win the race. Sometimes you just got to find a way to punch it. I think RJ City should book the shows, Tony deal with the money. I don't think there should be one person booking the shows. I've never been a guy that thinks that one person should be the ultimate booker. I think there should be three in many ways. You have your one final say guy that gets to organize everything, but then you have two people coming up with ideas for the entire show. And if you can find two guys with a lot of synergy, and I say two because then if you need to get to I find the more people that you bring into it, the more convoluted and the less ability for you to sort things out. HBK is the head guy in Orlando. He is. And while I do like a lot of the stuff that he books, I do get a little upset about some of the other stuff that he books. Like, I'm sorry, this Nikita Lyons storyline just they can go kick rocks for all I care about. And the fact that whenever they're in a lot of trouble, all they'll do is bring a couple wrestlers up from the main roster down. But also, you have to wait and see what the rosters are going to look like post transfer window, whatever the frick you want to call it. Yeah, that DQ last night with Regal Jr. Lex. I would almost want to see, if this doesn't pay off with Dempsey going into the ring and having a chat with Regal and having something set up there, then this is just plain old stupid. I'm not even going to mince words about it. It will just be stupid. But we could talk about other bookings here coming up in the future here, but that tag division 2 for NXT for me, for Axiom, has been good, but they haven't had any credible opponents. They won much tag titles at all this year. Well, here's the thing, and this is my opinion on NXT and what it in the form that it has. If you can't book a credible division across, you also have to look at who you have available. And if your talent are not developed enough to be able to work consistently at the level you need to be a champion, then you really can't blame Fraxium for not defending the titles if there's nobody that can really keep up properly with it. Like, I have my opinion that there are a few teams that could, give some leeway, but this is a developmental brand. It is not. If this was Raw or SmackDown, we're talking about the tag titles, that's a different story altogether. But with NXT, it's meant to bring up your people that are coming out of the training center. It's not on Fraxium whatsoever. It's on, when you have the two established indie wrestlers in there with a bunch of people that are coming through the training center, of course they're going to be above everybody else. Like, if you look through the entire lineup right now of wrestlers that are there, like, if you look at that 8-way, like that 4-way that they had last night, did they have anybody that was an indie guy? No, I'm pretty sure it was all 8 people in that match were out of developmental. So, to me, it's just terrified for Pentagon Jr. WWE. Yeah, it's going to go one of two ways. Either he's going to be allowed to do what he's allowed to do, and basically it's going to it's basically going to turn into Kevin Owens as being a wuss for all the stuff he's doing compared to what Pentagon's going to do. Or they're going to neuter his stuff and everybody's going to ask, why is Pentagon here? I think this was a terrible move by the Lucha Bros, and then when they opened their mouth about it, they buried themselves. If they would have kept their mouths shut, they probably would have both been there. So, no chance they'll do pile drivers, Canadian destroyers, maybe. But yeah, like, no promotion's perfect. I think that's basically what we're saying here, is no promotion's perfect. Penta's going to lose 60% of his moves. They're going to hope that he can get over on his personality, which really wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. But at the same time, I'm a little bit worried about that as we go forward here when it comes to AEW and all its goings on. So, but yeah, this is going to be a year. This is going to be a end of the year that's going to be really exciting, and it's going to be it's going to be a lot of things that you wouldn't normally expect for wrestling. I think wrestling's going to push each other into a higher atmosphere here. Yeah, and Kenny's going to be back Saturday. Adam's going to be back Wednesday. Who knows who else is going to show? We were talking about this as well, and I brought this up to the chat. That last line out of Moxley in his promo tonight as they close the show tonight. The fact that he talks about he is the only king in AEW. Last time I checked, his best friend in AEW was known as the Mad King. Could that be an indication that Mr. Edward Kingston is back too? Because to me, that'd be a needle mover too in a certain way. Do I think it'll get the same pop Omega will? No. I think the joint's gonna be, the roof on that joint's gonna blow on Saturday, and not just because they're in Orlando. Sorry, I had to. Tampa Bay Rays reference there. Eddie is so over, but Omega's, yeah, like, when you think about top performers in AEW, everybody still thinks of Omega, even though we hate the Rays. I used to say that, but I became a Blue Jays fan, and I'm so disheartened by baseball right now. Unless I'm playing MLB The Show, I'm not very too worried about baseball right now, period. So